Schubbert's retelling and summary caused deadly anguish in many schoolchildren, and they're remembered as a nightmare by many adults when they're asked why literature lessons discourage them from reading fiction. Who's interested in retellings? Who are those grateful listeners? If you say teachers, believe me, you're deeply mistaken. A retelling is only the first step of text analysis. By selecting what seems to you the most interesting thing, you are moving towards understanding not only the text itself, but the laws according to which the world created by the author is built. Built, in general, out of nothing. You ought to become a co-creator of the text in order to comprehend it. It is a difficult task, but it's truly rewarding. And on the whole, I must confess, the reading good literary criticism is sometimes much more fascinating than the works of art themselves. And in the in-depth study course at New Forward Language School, this is exactly what we learn. To analyze texts, any texts, not only artistic ones, and create our own little masterpieces. Call them summaries, reviews, essays, or scientific synopses.
Wax and blood. The theme of art and pseudo-art in the story of the British writer Alfred Barrage, The Waxwork. A wax museum or waxworks consists of a collection of wax figures representing famous people from history and contemporary personalities exhibited in lifelike poses. Wax museums often have a special section dubbed the Chamber of Horrors, in which the grislier exhibits are displayed.
Reporter Raymond Hewson comes to one of these museums. For £5, he agrees to spend the night in a hall with wax figures made from criminals. He also expects to sell his piece of writing to a tabloid newspaper in order to improve his plight a little. While the watchmen of the museum escort the last visitors, the manager invites Hewson into the office. After noting the reporter's shabby suit, he realizes that the guy has already lost his battle against the world. There are pleading notes in Hewson's voice, by which people who are accustomed to frequent refusals can easily be recognized.
Wax figures are soulless copies of real people, whom Hewson, as a person of a creative profession with an artist's imagination, tries to humanize. After all, there is an extraordinary biography behind each figure, and his task as a writer is to give the reader an adrenaline rush. Left alone in the company of murderers and maniacs in a mysterious and gloomy atmosphere, he feels as if on the bottom of the sea. That is, as if, in another dimension, the hero's consciousness gradually begins to split as the perspective of his perception changes. The figures seem to be fooling him, making barely noticeable movements.
The most frightening figure to him seems to be Dr. Baudet, the only one of this company of murderers who managed to escape and whose body the police did not find. As in a nightmare, the figure of the maniac comes to life. The Frenchman speaks to him in refined aristocratic English.
I must ask the question that I always ask. Is the razor to your liking, sir?
Gives a realistic explanation of how he, fearing the police, hides in the museum, starts a rumor about an alleged fire, changes into the exhibit's costume, and how embarrassing and tiring it is for a living person to be on the stand.
A bright, impressive talk about his maniac addictions. I like men with big throats best, big, thick, red throats. And an artistic demonstration of his bloody instrument finally blow up the poor writer's brain. His creative imagination kills him like a razor in the hands of a maniac. The fictional world of true art enters into a deadly battle with the world of pseudo-art, which skillfully, however, straightforwardly copies reality for the sake of entertainment and wins. And the price of this victory is the artist's life.
Gonna keep on walking.